put it in such a way that it's going to help you to understand what think, why will companies still hire? Right? Together in this next 60 minutes, what could be the key skills and approaches that you could take that will make a difference of you being an architect and you being a specialist in DevOps, even if with all this AI around, right? Okay. So before that, for me to tailor this session better, I need to understand you guys, meaning the audience. I know you are all engineers and multiple institutions, but again, I believe you are all in mixed years as well. That's what I remember discussing with Saravanan. So from second year to even some of you could be even final years, right? So can you help me in understanding you better? Can you guys have your mobile ready? Just take your mobile. We will do a small survey, okay? Let me help you with the survey, right? Ready? Can I start? Let's see. Okay. All you need to do is, do you see the QR code on screen? One of you need to help me because I can't see the audience. So either Saravanan or Abhirami have to help me.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, great. So I could see you guys have joined, right? Go ahead and take the survey, right? Whoever has joined, please go ahead and take the survey questions. Are you able to take the survey?
Yes, sir, the link's working.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and complete the survey. Right? I think there are about 8 questions, if I'm right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me know when most of you are finished. I'll give you a minute more. It's not a very tough question or anything. It is just to know you, right? So go ahead and then complete the survey. I know 18 of you have joined. Did any of you finish? Able to complete the survey? Saravanan, Abhirami, you're able to take the survey completed?
So we are
Yes,
working
sir.
on it, sir. I'm going through it.
Okay, fantastic. I'm not changing screen so that like anybody newly coming in can scan from the screen. That's why I'm not changing the screen, right?
Sure, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay, another 30 seconds. Is it tough, Abhirami or Saravanan? It's very easy questions, right?
Yes, sir. It's just general questions
Yeah,
about
exactly. Knowing about you guys, right? Okay, I think that is good enough. So let us see what we have got. Okay, so we have got mostly third, final, and recent graduates. That's really good to know. Okay. So there are no second years, at least so far, right? And two people have not yet responded. That's interesting. You haven't even completed the first question. That's very interesting. Okay. Then let us see. Okay. So which careers interest you the most? Software engineering. Oh, that's good. Cloud engineering. DevOps. Oh, not many takers for a DevOps. Interesting. AI engineers. Okay. Cybersecurity. Data engineering. Nobody. Actually, that is going to be the most evergreen of all this, right? Which is very surprising that people are not opting to data engineering. Okay. Maybe not this batch, right? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. How often you use AI? Wow. Most of you use every day. That's very interesting. Very interesting for learning and coding. Amazing. Then which AWS service you have? Have you actually used? Good. EC2, S3. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Lambda is also there. DynamoDB. I'm assuming last session was DynamoDB. So hoping that you guys have picked some DynamoDB there, right? And I heard most of you are certified, at least in foundation. That's good to know, right? Then have you ever deployed an application on cloud? Wow, that's great. 14 of you. That's really good. Okay. So which development tools do you use? VS Code. Good. Cursor 1, Claude 3. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then in one word, that's very nice. High productivity. I love that. That has stood out. Potential, new technologies, possibility. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Let's look at, do you believe AI will replace software engineers? Yes, by 2, maybe by 7. So there's a lot of people are worried. I can imagine that. 4 says no. I love that confidence. On 1 says not sure. I love the honesty. Good one, good one, good one. I think we are done. Thanks for sharing it. I think I kind of understand the fear, right? It's a good fear. Fear is very important. I think a feeling. How we channelize that is very important. Let's start where we left, right? Good to know. Thanks for that, guys. Let's move on. Okay. So before we get into the bigger picture of AI and other things, we need to know how we reached here, right? If you see that, it all started, the computers really became, mainstream with the mainframes, right? That is the one which brought in value to the enterprises. Even large corporations, large banks, large manufacturing units who have been there for more than 50, 60 years would still be using some mainframe. So it all started with mainframes, then client server, then web, then came cloud. So I started my career somewhere here, okay, between client server and web, okay. Then came cloud, then came containers, then the concept of DevOps, platform engineering, generative AI, and now we are talking about AI agents, right? So what do you think has happened over this period? What has happened is the level of abstraction has increased. Actually, it has not reduced the opportunity. It has increased the opportunity in a way. Meaning mainframes, you need a lot of skill to understand and operate mainframes. Even the client server. I would even say the web. And cloud kind of normalized it. But then still containers and DevOps were not so easy. So what was happening is everything was getting abstracted. Everything was getting abstracted so that more and more people can participate. So abstraction na enna? Okay, let me just tell you why I'm saying it's abstracted, right? I'll give you an example. So if you take in your, all of your house, you will have switchboards, correct? Electrical switchboards where you go and switch on, switch off. About 10, 15 years ago, even in my apartment when I first bought it, they used to have wooden boxes. They put wooden boxes and then they go and cut plastic sheets and then, place these and cut open and then place the switches or the plug points. It used to take at least 2 to 3 hours for them to set up a one switchboard or a switch box. But on the other day, I was asking, one of the switch box has gone out. So I had asked these guys to come and fix, as an electrician from Urban Clap to come and fix it. I was so surprised. Like everything has now become modular. So it's all standard size switches, standard size, sockets. So all they are doing is they just bring the boards, put the board, and then there is a big slot. In that slot, they just clip each switch and clip in whatever order they want. 2 switches and one dummy, and then 1 socket and 1 switch. You can do it. You want something else, you can still do it. It was amazing how it has been abstracted. So that is abstraction. So earlier you needed more skill, more time. Now I was thinking even I could be an electrician. I can also make changes, right? Except that I have a little bit fear of shock. But other than that, I think the skill levels have been reduced and anybody could do it. So it has been democratized. So that is what is happening, right? So exactly the same thing is happening, and the AI is bringing the ability to build to many people, right? Now, let's see, in the field of software development, what are we actually doing? What do we actually do when you complete your curriculum, go out into the industry? You will mostly be doing this flow in some way, maybe in a smaller or a larger way. So you will try to understand the problem. It could be a business problem or a technical problem, right? So what is the challenge and what is the outcome you want to achieve? Then you will be pondering an architecture. Okay, should I use Lambda? Should I use EC2? Should I use containers? So like that, right? So you come up with architecture. You decide what is a front end, what is a middleware, what is a back end. So you decide that. Then you go and implement that. And finally, when you implement into the production, you have to maintain that. You take care of operations as well. So this is what, I'm sure like for the last 40 years or 30 years, this is what engineers have been doing, right? And you will also be doing this. So AI shows up, if I go into the next level, like, okay, we will continue to do this even with AI. So, but what is happening now? While to do that, you will end up creating requirements document, then coming up with architecture, development, testing, deployment, monitoring, optimization. So everywhere today, AI is showing up. You all know that requirements today can be generated through AI. I'm sure you all know architecture diagrams, different architecture diagrams for the same requirement can be generated through AI. And writing code and testing code, absolutely. That is the most disrupted and widely used path. Then deployment, creating the pipeline, deployment. Then, troubleshooting. If you have logs, AI can suggest what is wrong, right? And then reading the dashboard and then says how people are using it. Where is the scope to optimize, right? All these places AI is there. So then what about architecture, right? So if you see architecture, especially cloud architecture, what do? We typically look at, these are the ways any application if you build is going to do. You will have a user who will probably use a CDN from a security and, speed and user experience standpoint, caching. Then there is some load balancing for high availability. Then you've got compute. It could be EC2, Lambda, ECS, EKS, anything, right? Then there is some data store or a database. End of the day, we are going to have some other supporting services like messaging, cache, storage, all these things, right? You all know this. You all have done the foundation. So what happens? Every layer, AI can do most of this, but there is something that AI cannot do. That is more important for all of us to understand. What is that AI cannot do? AI can help you to look at options, look at trade-offs, but then the decision, what is the final decision? Only the engineer has to do. That is the humans, right? So you cannot rely on AI to do the decision for you. You have to make the decision. So for you to make decision, what is important? Let us see what is important. Okay. So again, before getting into what is important, let us see how you are using AI today in all this, right? You can generate architecture diagram, right? Draft a full diagram with just plain English prompt. You can create architecture diagram. You don't see about 4 or 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago, we used to create architecture diagram through draw.io or something like that, right? Manually. So we will drag and drop, connect one to the another, like that. Okay, first we put a CDN, then we put load balancer. But right now, if you can elaborate it in English, it can create that for you, right? Similarly, if you want to know, okay, in this I said compute, you have so many choices. It can tell you what are the right options, or when I say right options, possible right options that may fit your workload, right? It can give you an estimate of cost. It can identify security risk. It can recommend scalability. All this AI can do. So then, question is, you will be wondering, what can we do? Don't worry. Let's come to that point, right? So again, so we saw in architecture. What about DevOps? Code generation, unit testing, Docker files, Terraform, CI/CD pipelines, right? All this log analysis, incident assistant, everywhere today, AI can do it, right? Definitely code generation, correct? So how do we leverage AI in code generation? We use what we call as prompt engineering. Today, you can give a prompt like build me a web app on AWS, right? That's a very dumb prompt or a weak prompt. It can do anything, right? So in prompt engineering, most of you might know by now, but even otherwise, I think these 5 things are very important. Give a context, give the constraint, give the scale at which you want, or what is the kind of outcome you want, then mention about security, mention about cost, you will get a reasonably good outcome, right? So design a 3-tier architecture of 50K students and a 2K per month HIPAA adjacent security and with auto scaling and Terraform output. So this kind of helps you to summarize how you could ask AI to get what you want. Okay, right? Now, let's look at document. So now we saw a lot of things, right? I want to share a real life example. I just don't want it to be a boring thing. What we did, I thought I will share you what we had done recently. We created. See, now this is the season of FIFA, right? World Cup is happening. How many? I'm assuming at least some of you. This is not a cricket World Cup, but I'm assuming some of you are watching the FIFA World Cup that is happening, right? So I also, advise on technology for a financial services NBFC, right? So they have 150 people spread across southern Andhra Pradesh as well as Tamil Nadu, right? So we want to create an employee engagement mechanism around this FIFA portal. So score prediction is one of the ideas we got. So what we did, we wanted to create documents for what we wanted, then instruct and build layer by layer, optimize for cost and security, generate code and deployment scripts, deploy it in a single shot, and then the app should be in production. This is what we wanted to do. Now, I'm going to show you how we achieved this and probably even show you the demo of the app that today is being used in production. Okay, I'll show you the production environment itself. Okay, bear with me. I'm just switching context so that you guys can. Okay, so what we did, we created a prompt. So first we used ChatGPT. You can use anything. We just use ChatGPT. Probably you can use Copilot. You can use Claude or Gemini. So there's no. See, most of these tools for most of the common requirements are very good. Okay. Only when you have extreme requirements, you have challenges, right? So what we said we are building an employee engagement page, leveraging upcoming FIFA World Cup 2026. See, we are giving a context. We are giving the purpose. For group match stages before 9 p.m. IST, each can predict a winner or draw. And during group stages, there are maximum 3 to 4 matches per day. This is scale. Okay. Next day, we can update the actual result of the match, and then all their predictions are evaluated, and the leaderboard needs to be published. We shall add more such prediction opportunities after group stage starts, meaning after group stage starts, for say like who will reach round of 16, who will reach quarterfinals, who will reach semifinals and finals. For each level, we will have different point scoring. This is the prompt with which we started. So see what ChatGPT has come up with. It has said, okay, front end. It has figured out. Okay, let me tell you. I also gave something here. I also said that I will be using React.js, S3 CloudFront for front end, leveraging Amplify user pools M365 for authentication, DynamoDB for authorization and API gateway, Lambda DynamoDB S3 for backend. Okay, and will provide details of the page and features next step. And I'm going to use Cursor for developing this. So please come up with the instruction which I can pass to Cursor. So I'm using an AI to generate instruction which I will pass to the Cursor. Imagine that. Okay, and ensure that the instructions are separate for front end, back end, and infrastructure. I wanted them to be separate. Okay, so it said, okay, front end, you're going to use this. It just reiterates what I've said. And back end, this is what you're going to use. And infrastructure, this is what you're going to use. So it said, like, okay, then I said, this is what we're going to build. Based on that, it came up with instructions. I'm not going to get into the instructions here. It came up with the instructions. It came up with the backend instructions, right? So it said front end, what are the API calls it needs to make to the backend? And in the backend, it said like how the data needs to be stored in DynamoDB, okay? And what are the rules, rule engine? And for infrastructure, what are the things that it needs? So like for DynamoDB tables, what's the partition key? Everything it came up with, okay? It came up with what are the lambdas, environment variable should be, right? So it created. Then I said, can I have this instruction as an MD file? So it created an MD file here. The same thing, it converted to an MD file because why MD file? It's easy to download. It's markdown file. MD file, for those who don't know, it's a markdown file. So it created me a markdown file. I just have to click and download, and I'll show you how we used it. So it took whatever I gave all the inputs. It took my inputs. All these it used based on the inputs I initially gave. Okay. And then it has come up with, and I also gave a scoring document. Sorry, I forgot to mention. I also gave a scoring document here. This is a scoring document I gave. I don't know whether it will show me, but I did give a scoring document here stating how it should score. So it took that. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back and forth. Okay, bear with me. So you took that and came up with the point system, and see the point system, how the points are going to be, how the pages are going to be, what pages it will create. So it created. Sorry, anybody? Did somebody say anything? Okay, I'll continue. So it gave the front page. It said what are the pages that you are going to have. So all this got created. Okay. So now, what did we do? We finally went to Cursor. Okay. Shared the document that it gave, right, as the requirements.md file. The same document that we gave it here, right? The same document which you saw as MD file. Okay. And then generated the front end, the back end, and the infrastructure as 3 different folders. Okay. And also created the deployment script. When it comes to backend, all these are Lambda, right? When it comes to infra, it is all DynamoDB, right? So if you go here, it has deployment scripts for Lambda via SAM. If you know SAM, for those of you who are aware of it, so it is easy way to deploy Lambda into cloud from local. Okay. So if you are in backend, all I need to do is I will give this instruction: SAM deploy infra template YAML. So here is the YAML file which says what Cognito, which API, everything it created. Okay. And then we deployed it. So if I do this, it'll redeploy again. So for example, if I go on, enter this, it'll try to redeploy, but if there is no change, it'll say there is no change. It's saying error because there is no change. And in fact, it is saying error because the profile is not there. Now it will say there's no change. If there is a change, it's trying to check if there is a change. But I think I deployed all the changes. Yeah. So now it's saying error, no change to deploy. Okay. And same way for front end. So the front end is running. So if I go into front end folder and then say deploy, it will deploy into production itself. Okay. Now I'll show you the production. Why I'm doing this? I'm showing the architecture. I'm showing you the DevOps and see what is the outcome. Here is the outcome. Okay. So it has created the application with authentication and authorization. Okay. And this is integrated with M365, right? I can even log out and then show you. But for this thing, see, it has shown all the group stage matches. Now we are in round of 32, knockout round of 32. So in knockout round of 32, right now we are on 3rd July. As you can see, the older matches are already scored. Okay. So right now it is giving me ability to predict. So I have done some prediction. Okay. And so here are my predictions. Okay. And the data is coming via API. So this is already deployed in production. What you are seeing is production. Okay. And here is the leaderboard. People are participating across the organization with the different scores. Somebody from Tamil Nadu, somebody from Andhra. This is from my team. So all of them, all the employees are participating, right? So something which we created. And here is how I manage the results. So I go and update the results. So today's results, if I want to update, tomorrow morning, I'll go and update the results here. Based on this, it will do the scoring automatically and it will update the leaderboard. So this is a simple app. Okay. How did it get created? It got created whenever I did the upload, it created CloudFormation stacks here. As you can see, there is a API stack. Okay. If I open the API stack, the outputs are API gateway URL. The resources it has created is basically a Lambda and a set of APIs, right? Whereas when I go to the welcome stack, you can see the outputs are leaderboard, table names. All those are the outputs. Okay. The resources it has created different DynamoDB tables. It has created a prediction table. It has created match table. It has created a leaderboard table. It has created a config table and then CDK metadata as well. So this is what we were able to create just using AI. Okay. Now again, I'm going to go back to my presentation. Okay. Any questions before I move on? Anybody has any questions? So far, we have seen the power of AI, right? Now I'm going to say how you have to equip yourself in this world of AI. Can I go ahead? Anybody has any questions?
So how much time did it take to build this app?
We start, okay, let's say when did I think it was a Friday or Thursday is when the World Cup started. So we built a whole app in about 6 to 7 hours because we took it as a challenge to see from the concept. So my COO came up with this point. He's very good in sports. So he came up with the points table. So from that point, 11:30 we started. By evening around 8:30, it was in production and we deployed it.
That's
Right?
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And what was the cost involved, like the tokens usage and all those things?
So absolutely nothing. This is within the my monthly subscription of 2,500 rupees.
Okay.
Both. Okay. So nowadays, whoever is employed, I would strongly recommend them to take a pro subscription of, that's the investment that you make of 2,500 on any of the tool. I think it varies anywhere between 2,000 to 2,500, and it is worth it. Trust me. Okay. Today we are a team of 6 members supporting an entire NBFC. Okay. And this morning I saw. Yeah. Sorry.
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Why are you gay?
Sorry. I lost you. Can you repeat? Anyone else is able to hear me?
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's proceed.
So, hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, sir. What are the errors you faced while doing, sir? Do you remember anything like that?
Errors. It is very important to constrain it. One of the errors it did was we gave 2 points for, logical error. It misunderstood. Okay, 2 points for winner prediction and 5 points for exact score prediction. Okay, so we expected it to give, if you have done both if, for example, if you Netherlands versus Morocco, if you have predicted, okay, winner is Morocco and the score is whatever, right? Then if the score is wrong but you predicted Morocco to win, you would have got 2 points. Otherwise, if your score is also right, we wanted it to give plus 5 points, but it gave plus 3 points. Okay. Then we figured out and we asked it to change that, and it did change. Yes, there were some challenges, but all these challenges were overcome within 6 hours. That's the beauty.
So you cleared the error with with our brain, or just used the AI for this error correction?
No, we instructed. See, we figured out what is the error. So the way we do is, whenever we find something is wrong, we get into the ask mode, right, and try to understand what's going on. Okay. Once we understood what is going, so we have to ask the right question. You are an architect, right? So you're going to ask the right question, like you ask your developer, correct? So the same way you ask the question, what did you do with this? How was this stored? How did the score get arrived? So then we figured out, okay, then we said no. Then we switched to the agent mode and then said, you need to change this to this. Then it went ahead and then fixed it, right? What we did manually is, since I am an AWS ambassador and I have almost 16 years on AWS, the creation of S3 bucket and CloudFront, I did manually, okay? Because I wanted it to put it in the right S3 bucket. I want to configure the CloudFront in the way I wanted it. And the domain configuration for production, I did manually, because the domain was hosted outside AWS in GoDaddy. So I had to go and configure a few things. But all this was done within that 6.5 hours.
That's great to know, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just moving on, right? We'll again come back to some questions towards the end. So the question is, where does AI fits, and does that mean there's no role for engineer? No, that is not true. Okay. So in the understanding of business problem or understanding the business case, see, this is a myth, right? I'm sure every one of you will go through this as well. We think when somebody tells us a requirement, we just blindly follow that requirement. Initially, it will be like that. Okay. But trust me, not necessary that the person who is giving you a requirement is telling you exactly what he wants. He might think that is what he wants, but the best thing to do is to understand what the exact problem is, rather than asking what you want. Okay. So what is the problem and what is the fix for which he wants this? That understanding of what exactly the problem that we are addressing is very, very important. Okay. Rather than just asking, I always give this example. You go to, if you know what medicine you want, you don't go to a doctor and then say, give me 2 metacins and crocins, correct? You don't do that. Doctors are also consultants, correct? We don't do that. We go to the doctor asks your symptoms, your problems. Then he may write certain tests, which you may have to go through the test. And then finally he will come and then say, what is the way you can solve the problem, correct? So in the meantime, if you have pains, he may give some painkiller, this, that, all. Exactly the same way. So understanding business is to understand really what the business wants. This is one area where AI cannot do. Okay. So this is an area where it is going to take a lot more years for AI to become perfect. Okay. So what AI could do in this area is whatever you say, it can document. But it is still up to you to figure out that document is right. Is it what exactly the customer wanted? It can tell you probably what questions to ask and other things. But still, end of the day, you own the goals. You own the priorities. You understand the business requirements from various perspectives. You understand the you negotiate the scope, timeline, standards. It does not understand. Okay. The next one is so this is the why stage, why we are doing something. Next one is what are we going to do? Okay, this is why we are going to do something. What do we want, right? What is that we want to do? So like in our case, we decided, okay, these are the things we want. These are the page we want, and this is the API we want. So that is what.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Yes. Sorry
Yes.
for the interruption. So I think a student have a question to ask. Shanju,
Sure.
can you ask her? I
Yes.
think she raising her hands for a long time. Hello.
You can probably type in the chat and then you can read it, Sarana, if that is possible, because I'm not able to see the chat screen. If
Yes,
she has
sure,
a connection problem. Yeah. And don't worry, you can ask questions even after the session. I would definitely love to respond back through my LinkedIn mechanisms as well. Okay. So,
sure. I think
No.
she's having a little bit of network issues. You
Yeah,
can
I could see
continue the
that.
session, sir.
Yeah, okay. So in the what scenario, the best is to, for you to understand, AI can give you different alternatives. For example, when I gave the requirements, it said like, I made the decision that I am going to use Lambda. But AI could have, if I would have asked, it would have said,
Sir,
you could use ECS. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think you are having, I didn't get your name, but I think you are having a connection problem. Please write your query in the chat if you are able to hear me. And Saranan, probably you can type in the chat. And let her type the query in the chat and we can definitely get back to that towards the end of the session or even after the session. I'll definitely do that. Okay. Just let her know.
Sure, sir. I'll make sure of it, sir. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, so in the what scenario, it can give you a different mechanism. Like for the same Lambda, it could have told you could use ECS. You can use ECS with Fargate or ECS if you are having high traffic, probably ECS on EC2 or maybe even EKS if you are familiar with Kubernetes. Or no, you are not familiar with all this. You know only EC2. Then probably it could even suggest EC2. So, but the point is, it can suggest. The final thing that the call that you take is up to you. You can decide whether you want high availability, whether you want API gateway, or you want to do some other gateway providers, right? All these are the final decision is engineer's decision, architect's decision, DevOps engineer's decision, not AI's decision. As you saw in my demo or the example which I showed you, all were my decisions. It just followed my decisions. As an architect, I said, this is how I want you to build. It built exactly like what I wanted it, not like whatever it wanted it, correct? So that is very important in what. So then comes how. This is very, very important. Here is how is where the AI can play a bigger role and you can sit back. What AI, you can instruct AI, okay, you go build this. So it will go and build how. You don't need to know really how. If you are an architect, like I'm an architect, ideally, to build this application without AI, it would have taken me at least a week, along with probably one React developer and probably one Python-based Lambda developer who knows DynamoDB. It would have taken me at least a week. Now, and I had to explain all this, make them write documentation, come back and tell me, and then they have to go deploy, develop. After they develop, some QA has to come in, test, or I have to go and test. And then we have to go and deploy again onto production, where I need to bring in my infra engineer or a DevOps engineer who has to deploy this in production. And we may have to have two environments, a dev environment, a prod environment. So a lot of things could have come into picture. Now the whole thing is compressed. The whole how part of my front-end engineer, my back-end engineer, all the how part of it was done by AI. Right? So you could, sorry?
Sorry for the interruption. I think students have a question.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So here, Karthik again asks if AI can answer the why and what process can be done, how for us as users, we can have the responsibilities that should always remain exclusively with the engineer or architect.
So I didn't get the full question. If I understood right, AI should not drive why. The why part should be driven by business requirement. Okay. How part is where the AI plays the major role, because it has to go do the things as we said, what we want. Why is done by business or told by the user who has the challenge or the requirement. You as a human understand it, have negotiations, use AI to record the requirement, ask AI if we are missing anything, is there anything else missed out, is this the right approach, is this feasible, all those you can use AI. Okay, but don't let AI to find the why. AI should not find the why. Okay. Similarly, in what AI can give you alternatives. This approach is there, that approach is there, but the final decision is yours. The how part, meaning the building part, AI should do. And ask AI to even test. Ask AI to say if there is any other security issues. Everything we need to say. Okay. And after it says all those and then says, okay, these are 2-3 security things I'm seeing. You decide whether you want to fix it now or that is fine. And then you make a sign off. What level of high availability you wanted, what level of security things that you wanted. You validate the outcome, what it said after testing, and then you sign off. That is the engineer or architect's role. Okay, so I've clearly given what is the human accountable and what is AI's role. Okay, finally, everywhere human is the accountable. AI helps you. Accountability remains with the engineer. You cannot say, sir, AI did this, sir, I don't know, sir. No. You have to be the driver. AI is still your assistant or a tool. I cannot go and say this bug was created by AI. No. You should ensure that you build enough guardrails, like what you saw the example, where I've said what you need to do, and then make sure that it builds it the right way. Okay. Now, so what the engineers can do? Understand AI is powerful. It can be the co-driver or co-pilot for you, meaning it can help you to drive things. But where to go, what to do, when to stop, what speed you need to go, and what mode you need to go, you have to define. Okay, where AI still needs engineer, understanding the business requirement, architecting the trade-off. What is trade-off? Oh, this is expensive. So if it is expensive, what is the alternative? So that's a trade-off. Cost. For cost, you reduce something. You take a decision on high availability. Maybe instead of RDS, you run it on EC2 if RDS is expensive. So like that. So we were very cost conscious. So that's why we went into DynamoDB, Lambda. Hardly we are spending any money on whatever we have deployed. Probably we are spending maybe $4 or $5 a month. The whole application is about $5 a month from an AWS perspective. And from development, we paid probably $2,500 for both the AI, and voila, we got it running, and we have done an employee engagement for an 150 user company, right? So imagine that. Okay. So I'm moving into the final part. Okay, because I wanted a final quiz as well. Okay. So right now we are in 2026. I think this is the most interesting part I want you guys to, listen to, right? So right now we are in 2026. Many of you will finish in the period between 2026 to 2030. Here is what I feel you would need. Okay. You need the foundation. Still, it doesn't change the foundation because you are the master. Okay. Don't even think for a moment AI is the master. You are the master. So you need the foundation. You need one good programming language. You need understanding of the operating system. You need the understanding of networking, and you need the DBMS, database management system, right? All these foundations are essential. This is not going to go away because AI has come, right? You need the foundation. Then you need cloud, because cloud is now become like electricity for everybody, right? Because everything runs on cloud. So you need something like AWS. You need to understand containers, possibly Kubernetes, and understand infrastructure as code. Must have. So do not discount. Do not think you can bypass this. Then you need AI. You need to understand what are the various LLMs, what is available, what is RAG, what is agents. Definitely this is important to understand. Last but not the least, human skills, communication to AI, communication with humans, and then systems thinking. This is very, very important. People don't understand this in their early stage of career. Whoever understands this early will become or will grow faster. What is system thinking? Many of us think system is only application or code or computer. No. Systems thinking it includes people, process, and technology. So you need to understand for who is the user, what is their skill level, how will they use it. Okay. For example, this application that we have built, we know most of the users are field engineers, okay, or field collection agents, okay, because it's a financial services, right? So they are all collection agents. They don't have a computer. Not everybody. 150 people, only 35 people have computers or laptops or desktops. Rest of them use only mobile. So the application we built is mobile friendly. One of the instructions, if you go and see in that, is that it needs to be responsive. So I will show you in a moment that you can see the whole application in mobile as well. Okay. So you need to understand the user. What will they use to use the application? How will the application be cost effective? What will be the process? See, I told my COO took care of scoring process, ensuring that the process is, it's not biased and all those stuff. So the process is also important. People, process, and finally technology. All the three has to come together. That is what is system thinking. Okay. So that is very important to do. So the engineers who are going to come out of colleges in 2028 and beyond into the software world, you need to understand the business needs better because you need to communicate that, or you need to coordinate with AI to finalize the business requirement. Okay. Lead the AI agents. Probably earlier, whoever comes out will be leading other human beings. When you guys are coming out, most likely the world is going to happen. I heard this from Werner Vogels this morning. I saw that in one of his LinkedIn posts. He mentioned that earlier AWS used to think for each service, there'll be a 2 pizza team, meaning how many people should be there in a team? Only not more than 8 to 10 people. So S3 itself had only 8 to 10 people. Each service had only 8 to 10 people, not just for development, testing, concept, production issue, production management, everything. Okay. Now he said we are rethinking that. Every individual is a team because his team consists of AI agents. He is a lead and he is leading the AI agent. So you are going to learn how to talk to AI agents. So that is a reality that by 2028 is going to be, it's already there, but it's going to be the reality. Okay. Then comes system design thinking. Okay. So you will be, as I told you now, what is system design thinking? You need to know that. You can't just say, I'm a developer, I am a front-end developer, I don't know system design. No. The more important thing is going to be the system design thinking, because you are going to, all the development and other things your AI agent is going to do. Okay. So you need to be a good, I mean, only when it gets stuck, you're going to help. So you need to know the coding, right? But you need to be more a system design thinker. Then you need to build secure platforms. So you need to understand security. You need to know how to secure your platform, because AI might create a security flaw. You should be in a position to go find it, instruct the AI how to solve it. Okay. And then keep learning continuously. So this is what the world is going to be for people who are going to come out of college in 2028. So please remember this. You are going to work with AI agents. That's what is going to happen. So you need to know how to instruct and talk to the AI agents and get your work done. Okay. So none of these are optional. None of them are things AI can do for you. You have to make all these things. So this is where the engineers are going to be sought after. Whoever is good in all these 5 areas, they are going to grow faster. They are going to be the masters of tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So we have come to the final part. Let's finish the quiz. After that, I'll take some questions. Is that okay? Right? It's a very
Sure.
small quiz. It's a very small quiz. And then we can, so let me just switch to the quiz. Okay. Are you able to see it? QR code?
Yes, sir.
It's a short quiz. Please scan the QR code, join. This time it's a quiz, right? So I have to start it. I'm hoping at least, I don't know how many of are there in the session, Saravana? 20 people?
Around 45, sir.
Oh, 45. Oh, that's good to know. But I'm only 20 of them have joined, 21. Do you want me to give another 20, 30 seconds?
Yes, sir. I think that'll be helpful.
Everybody can join. Can we go ahead, Saravana?
Yeah, sure, sir.
25. Let's say, let's wait till 30 comes up. Come on, guys. We are hoping for 30. 26, 4 more. 27, 28. Awesome. Come on, we are almost there. 2 more people. Come on, come on. 29. Okay, 1 more. Who's the lucky one? Oh, we have 30. Let's go ahead. Okay. 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 So I'm seeing all the 25 players. I'm assuming the other 5 players also will come in. Ready? Shall we start the quiz? Okay. Here we go. If you answer quickly, so which statement best describes AI in software engineering? It replaces engineers. It eliminates cloud computing. It amplifies engineers' productivity. It removes the need for DevOps. Which one best describes AI? 1 more second. Awesome. For the 2 of you who are saying, no, it does not remove the DevOps. DevOps still is there. It amplifies the engineer's productivity. Well done. I'm very, very happy that everybody understood in that same way. Okay. Let's see who's the leading. Okay. Okay. Shivakumar has been the fastest. Many of you probably gave the right answer, but Shivakumar is the fastest for that one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Second question. We have 28 players now. Let's see. Okay. Again, answer quickly. Okay. Which activity requires the highest level of human judgment? Formatting code, system architecture and trade-off, writing comments, creating Docker file. I think I've given a little bit more time here. This is an easy question. I need not have given 30 seconds. I don't know why I gave 30 seconds. I think all of you have answered, right? I think so. Let's see the leaderboard. Okay. Now the cumulative points. Who is leading? I think there's a change. Yes, Praveen Raj has come to the first level. Dr. Centipede remained the second. Shivakumar is now moved to the third position. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Next question. This is the third of the first question. Okay. Let's go. Answer quickly. AI can help with, let's see the choices. Code generation, architecture suggestions, log analysis, all of the above. Most easiest question. So there were only 27 people, right? So I'll move, okay? Because we are running short of time. Okay. Let's see cumulatively. Wow. Dr. Centipede has moved from second to the first position. But this round, Bhuvanesh has been the fastest. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Fourth question, 28 players. Let's start. Okay. What is the biggest advantage of AI for engineers? Eliminates learning, faster engineering with human oversight, removes testing, eliminates architecture. Nice. Let's see what happens. Okay. Awesome. Again, Bhuvanesh is faster, but still Dr. Centipede leads. It's a thin margin. Last question. Let's see what happens. 28 players. The most important skill for engineers in AI era is memorizing commands, system thinking and problem solving, typing fast, avoiding AI. It should be easy. Come on, one more. Oh, more people have. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, the final thing. Oh, narrow margin, Centipede wins, I believe. Yeah. Dr. Centipede, whoever that is, well done. That's really good. Okay. So I hope you all have enjoyed this, right? At least I did enjoy. Okay. Happy to take. So the final thought is here. The future belongs not to engineers who compete with AI. So please don't compete with AI. Learn how to use AI or lead AI. When I say use the right way. You need to lead the AI, right? Only the engineers who learn to lead the AI will be very successful. Stay curious, build relentlessly, learn continuously. Don't compete with AI. As I said, learn to lead it. Okay. Here is I've just put my QR code for you to scan. That will take me to my LinkedIn profile. I would be happy to take any questions if you can. I mean, probably for another 5 minutes, if that is okay, Saravana. Okay. Or
Yes,
they can reach out to me through LinkedIn as well. Did you guys enjoy?
I
Who's that?
think our
Yes, sir,
swimming
we
clubs.
really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Anybody has a question? Were there any questions in chat? Saravana?
No, so I think that was it.
Okay, there was a girl who was trying to ask some question, I believe. I don't know. It looked like a female voice, but I couldn't hear her out fully. never mind. Please reach out to me. I think that is the end of the session, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Anything else, Saravana?
Sure, sir. I think that's it. So we can move on to the vote of thanks. That was a wonderful session, sir. So good evening, everyone. As we come to the end of today's session, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. On behalf of AWS Student Builder Groups, St. Joseph Group of Institutions, I would like to extend a warm, heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Umashankar Nedunchezhian, sir, for joining us today and sharing such insightful sessions on AI in architecture and DevOps. Sir, your expertise, industry experience, and practical insights have given us a deeper understanding of how AI is shaping the future of software engineering and cloud technologies. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Thanks a lot. I'm very, very happy to have been part of this session. I always loved working with young minds. So thanks for the opportunity, Saravana. I've been associated with St. Joseph's for last 4 or 5 years with all your cloud captains as well. So good
Yes,
to
sir.
connect with you, Saravana, as well. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
And
It
some
was
of your
a
seniors are
very
working
great
for us as
session.
well. Some of your seniors are working for us as well. Okay. So that is also something I wanted to let you know. Thank you,
Yes,
folks.
sir.
Appreciate that, really.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the
Thank
event.
you so much.
Thank you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay.